Hey guys, welcome back to Tamiya Legends, and once again, thank you for stopping by. So, you saw this kit ages ago, and I've been sat on it, but it was finally time to build it. But before we do that, if you're a long-term viewer, you may remember this was actually donated to me by the RC Elf. It did the TD2, sorry, the TD4 as well for me when that first came out. In fact, this is how long I've had this kit. I'm pretty certain I had the TD4 on pre-order, and then about a week later this came out, and I had to pre-order it as well. And the RC Elf sent me the cash for both cars, which is just incredible. And I 100% know that you RC YouTube viewers know who the RC Elf is. You don't know who he is, but you know the RC Elf. So yeah, a massive thank you for watching, my friend, and I hope you're well. Yeah, so I built it, and here it is. And yeah, it's an incredible looking thing, I've got to be honest. I said, not on YouTube actually, but I have said on this channel that I built the Riri Wild one when it first came out. I don't even know when that was. 2014, 15, maybe, I can't remember. But yeah, I bought it from Otley Model Sport and I built it. And it was the first time I built a Wild one. And I just remember it was just quite different from everything else, two-wheel drive from Tamiya at the time that I'd built. And I got such a sense of accomplishment from that build. I just really enjoyed it, and it just became one of my best two-wheel drive Tamiya builds that I've done. I just so enjoyed it. So when I decided it was time to build this, I was like, it's going to be very enjoyable. This was actually a tiny little bit more enjoyable because of the little differences it has. The Wild one's very, in I'd say 90%, maybe 95% of most kits, you start with the gearbox, or gearboxes if it's four-wheel drive. This is completely the opposite. You basically do the back end last, which is crazy. And one of the first things you got to do is cut decals out to get them on the side of the chassis. So it's different. And then obviously the remainder of the build's pretty cool. This actually came pre-cut and pre-painted, which is awesome. I'm not a massive fan of that, but to do them now and again, it's just so much less hassle. Even the driver was painted. I just had to paint flesh colour, and then decals do the rest, and again it all cut out. So you save a ton of time, and obviously the finish is decent, but you just got to decal it yourself. But at the end of it, it's just like, I looked at it because I'm a massive fan of the Wild one, the original, and indeed the Fast Attack vehicle, although I think the Wild one is better. If I had to score it, the Wild one would be slightly better looking than the Fast Attack vehicle. I know they're completely different, while being the same, if that makes sense. But yeah, I was intrigued, because obviously every man and his dog has built, especially on YouTube, you've seen these Blockhead Wild ones all over, and you know, there's a lot of them. So I was never in a rush to get it built, but then the time came last couple of weeks. And my point being, while I'm saying this, is I kind of knew what it looked like, but it's that age-old thing that happens every time. When it was finally finished and I kind of put it in front of me, I was like, okay, that is awesome. So I'm absolutely made up. What I should say is, when Tamiya brought out the Blockhead Wild one, they also had another run of the standard Wild one. Now, I never wanted both cars, so I had to make a decision at the time when the RC Elf contacted me, and it was like, which one am I going to get? Because I think prices were the same off top of my head. I'm pretty sure the prices were the same. And it's like, do you want a standard Wild one or do you want the Blockhead? And obviously I chose the Blockhead just because it's slightly different. And I'm so glad I did. I really am. Maybe in the future I'll get a Riri Wild one. I don't know. But I don't want the same cars in my collection, to be honest. It's too similar, and that's not a very cost-effective way of doing it. But anyway, I mean, that's just for me. But yeah, absolutely love how it looks. So what I'll do is I'll bring a camera over, and we'll just have a quick look at the car itself. And there we have it. It's a cracking looking buggy. It really is. I mean, obviously, the first thing, it's a wild one, so it's I don't know anyone who doesn't like the wild one, if I'm honest. But yeah, I just think the Blockhead livery works really well on it. A lot more modern looking than the original. It just obviously because the original's quite dark with it black, red, and orange. But yeah, this thing pops with the chrome everywhere and what have you. I love it. I love it a lot more than I thought I was gonna love it, if that even makes sense. So it's complete stock build. I've even not even fitted bearings. It's just got bushes. I've just built it just straight out of the box. Yeah, just a lovely, lovely build. Got to be careful with the chrome when you're snipping it off the parts tree. The wheels and stuff. You got to be careful because that chrome will chip. So what a lovely thing. I love it. So I was going to say the only difference I don't know if it's a difference and such. These 4 spotlights come with lenses. So there's actually lenses I've cut out underneath. So obviously you can fit LEDs if you so wish. But when I sort of had it with the lenses on, I didn't kind of like the look of it. And it gives you tons of decals. I think there's 2 sets of spotlight decals you can use. So obviously I went with the Blockhead Motors one, just over the lenses. Now they don't fit the best because they're actually the adhesive is just on the outside and a little bit in the middle. But so it's kind of, they do lift a little bit. But I kind of like it. And a shout out to James if you're watching, my friend. He'd already done this and I didn't know. So when I posted it on my Facebook group, he'd posted a picture of his and he's done exactly the same thing. So I may have seen James's version and forgot about he'd done it. And then when I decided to do it, I was actually just copying him. But either way, I love it. Yeah, just a cool thing. I'm not going to take the body off forever because there's just nothing to see. And again, as I said earlier, everyone's sort of built this. But the chrome front arms and obviously the side bars, and then you've got obviously the wheels are chrome, and then you've got the gearbox, which is there we go, let me get in camera, chrome gearbox, which is so cool. And I think it works. I don't know, it's just that thing to have it in front of you, isn't it? Just looks so cool. Yeah, I think I made the right decision. And obviously that little got a little flag. Yeah, I'm a massive fan of that. I'm looking forward to getting that in the collection. And I thought just quickly, just show you it in its position in the cabinet. It's probably too glary because I haven't got the big lights on. But yes, there she is. Absolutely awesome. It's funny because I'm not used to this collection, so when something new goes in, it's my eyes kind of go straight to it. But yeah, that is absolute class. So I guess that's pretty much it. I now have, thanks to the RC Elf, I now have a Tamiya Wild One Blockhead edition, which is awesome. I'm not a fan of the Blockhead Hotshot 2 because it's not a Hotshot 2, but we won't get into that. But I kind of feel that they were a little bit lazy with that, giving it the same look as the Wild One. I think Blockhead need to be doing, or if Tamiya are going to keep doing the Blockhead versions, they need to be each one different, in my opinion. And if you follow Blockhead on Instagram, they do it already. I just thought it was lazy. I don't know who was lazy, if it was Blockhead or if it was Tamiya. But yeah, the Hotshot 2, it's basically this same sort of colour and livery, which, again, it just kind of defeats what Blockhead actually do, in my opinion. And again, it's not even a Hotshot 2. And why didn't Tamiya release the Hotshot 2 on it as the original version, like they did with this and the Wild One? Makes no sense. Because then Tamiya would have had the red CVA shocks made, which remade, which would allow us to get the Super Sabre at some point as well. Hotshot 2, Super Sabre, 2 cars I'm crying out for, and the Mud Blaster. But that's a monster truck. But yeah, anyway. But again, so RC Elf, if you're watching, a massive thank you. This is now going to go proudly. I've got a slot over there in the collection for it. We'll get it put away under the lights. May run it at some point, I've no idea, but right now, just with how things are, I just haven't got time. But yeah, I'm glad I made time to get it built. Right, anyway, my friends, thanks so much for watching. It is honestly massively appreciated. You know all stuff. Like, dislike, comment, subscribe, whatever. Whatever you do would be much appreciated. Right, I'm going to build something else now. As always, my friends, happy seeing.